See, Cairns is the healthiest place in Australia. Good morning from Cairns, Australia. It's about 6 a.m. Sun is just rising over the hills. We're gonna go for a little walk. Get our day started here. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how you're doing today. We're doing great. We're in a paradise here in Australia. Let's go. So now, right now we're on the northern part of the Cairns Esplanade, which is this little boardwalk that goes up and down the water. We're just a little bit past all of the main restaurants and the lagoon and everything like that. This is a pretty peaceful part of the Esplanade. You still have the beautiful views, but there's usually less people up here. You have a little more room if you're walking or running. You have more room to operate. We have the Cairns Tennis Club just over there with their synthetic grass courts. And then over here, we have a skate park. Everybody gets up early here and runs. Cairns specifically, though, it's hard not to get up early to run because it's so beautiful out all the time. And in the morning like this, it's much cooler. It's nice you have all this open space. You have this grass that you can, play soccer on or run around on, play with your dogs. You know you're in a healthy area when even the dogs are going for runs in the morning. That tells you something, for sure. Very impressive. Okay, well, we're gonna try to run a little bit here this morning because we need to, and we'll see how we do. We just ran past all the fit people to make it look like we're healthier than we are, so mission accomplished. And now we can go into the Cairns Hospital, which is right over there. No, just kidding. But it's kind of cool. So this is the hospital and they have a helipad there. So they'll airlift patients there. And it's right in front of the hospital, so we walk in really easily. Quick way to get people there. I would imagine, people that get injured or sick out on the reef, they can get airlifted in here fairly quickly. It's our free workout equipment. It's one of many free workout stations they got. Look at all these healthy folks. Oh man. Keep in mind, it's a Thursday morning here. This isn't even a weekend. People are out getting it in before their workday starts. You gotta respect it. Gotta respect the hustle. Part of the reason I love this area is because of that healthy living feel that you get here. And it's like, yeah, sure, you can go for runs anywhere in the world, but you know, the weather here, how warm it is and how good it feels in the morning year round, it makes for a great outdoor exercise environment. And you know, for me, and I know a lot of people are probably like this, I hate working out and, you know, running into a wall in the gym. To me, that's so boring. So it's nice to be outdoors, getting amongst it. This is cool. They have the trees lit up, probably for the holidays, I'm thinking, for Christmas time. Look at this. It's like a little canopy of lights. Very cool. There's a lot of nods to the Australian military in this area. I've talked about the RSL. They have plaques and commemoratives all over Cairns City honoring various events in mostly Australian naval history, but Australian military history overall. This little canopy. I mean, there's not much about being in Australia that feels Christmas-like, but this helps. Having these lights up helps. You know, it's the little touches. Now, I'm from California, so I'm used to having palm trees around during Christmas, but yeah, Cairns is just, I mean, it really feels like summertime. I think as a parent, we're always thinking about how do we give our kid the healthiest upbringing from a mental, physical, social standpoints. Coming to places like this, where you can cultivate a healthy living environment and you're surrounded by other people who are living very healthy, who are out running at 6 a.m. That's an environment that you want to expose your children to. You want them to be in that sort of a motivational environment, as opposed to other places where they're surrounded by people that aren't taking those strides in life. I think as you mature as a parent, you start to realize the importance of those things a lot more. Health really starts from a physical standpoint, I believe. If you're out here raising your heart rate, burning calories, doing cardio, it all trickles down into your mental health and your sociability and your confidence. That's something as a parent, I know how important that is, and I want to show it to my child and give my child that as well. Coming to places like this helps, but it's just something that I need to remember at all times. Take it with me no matter where we go as a family. And always try to be healthy no matter where we go. There's a plane. 737. So anyone else there who's a parent, grandparent, I'm sure you can relate to what I'm talking about here. How did you navigate that with your children? How did you make sure that they were out and moving and exercising? And there are so many distractions out there, and you see so many kids focused on the wrong things and not out there, not moving and not socializing and being part of their environment the way they need to be healthy. I'm just curious how everyone else out there navigates it with their own kids or grandkids. And you might have raised them in a different era than now, but I think some of those same principles still apply. But look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Look at the sunrise. It's great. Anyway, we're going to continue up the Esplanade here a little bit more, and then we'll turn around, go to Muddy's, and get a smoothie. A big part to a healthy lifestyle is, of course, eating. The majority of the days of the week, we try to eat pretty healthy. Oh, there's a gym over there. Probably hear that in the background. See, Cairns is the healthiest place in Australia. Look, just a random outdoor gym on a Thursday morning. Look at that. Love to see it. Here's the tennis courts. Cairns Tennis Center. One big component of parenting that is easy to slip up on, but it is so important that you give them a solid foundation early on in their lives. I thought that bird was gonna kill me. That's every day in Australia, by the way. But introducing healthy foods to your child from an early age, it's gonna set that foundation for them years beyond. And when you're traveling, you say, well, it's easy to binge on fried food and get out of shape and gain weight. And that's all very true. But I think this is where our style of travel helps a little bit, because we were here for such a long amount of time. We try to get that initial vacation part out of the way early. So usually the first maybe 3 to 5 days of a trip is treated like the vacation part. And then after that, we try to hunker down, treat it like we're living at home. And we wouldn't go out and eat fried food every day at home, so we're not gonna do it here. I think that's important, not just for us, but for our kid, to show them this is the right way to be eating and taking care of yourself, even if you're in a different place. Trying to stay away from carbs. It's gonna happen, but overall, you know, try to stay away from it a little bit. Although I'm sure you're gonna see us eating some carbs in these videos. That's more for content purposes. Wink, wink. No, but yeah, I think as a parent, setting that foundation, even when you're on a trip, even when you're in a different environment outside of your home, that's the ultimate thing. Because you get into your routine at home, and it's a lot easier to be healthy when you're at home. But when you're away like this, in a different part of the world, it's easy to go the other way and to let things get out of hand. A big goal for us on this trip is to not let it go to that. We want to make sure that we're going to the grocery stores regularly. That's why we're going to have content at Woolworths and Kohl's and these major grocery chains to show you that we're trying to stay on the straight and narrow here. And I think it makes for a more pleasant experience for everybody. You feel better, you feel healthier, you feel like you can do more, you wake up earlier, you feel rejuvenated each day, you don't feel as sluggish. Helps you acclimate better to the new time zone. It's just everything, every positive benefit there is. And then the other area of health that we're focused on is the social aspect. With a young child, you want to get them out around other young kids around their age. And that's actually, I think, the biggest advantage of this kind of travel is you're out all the time. You're out walking, exploring new things. You're not, you know, you're wanting to get out at all times. And so you're exposing your child to these social environments on a more frequent basis than you would at home in a lot of cases. Now, in the few days we've been here, you know, our son's a little bit older than he was last year, of course. So seeing him, the way he interacts with kids he comes across here, it's so much different than it was a year ago. Like, he was playing with another little boy yesterday with their cars for 30 minutes. Didn't need any sort of guidance, didn't need us to push him into it, he just did it. And I think that's a beautiful thing about travel as a family, is you get to see your kids evolve in real time like that. Yeah, the physical, which I guess includes what you eat, as well as exercising and moving. But then the social part is so important. And I will say, even the travel part was a lot easier this time, which I didn't know it would be, because you hear horror stories about the terrible twos, but our son did great with it. He handled it like a champ, and he loves traveling now. And because we've done it from such an early age, he's gonna have this with him for the rest of his life. And that's a beautiful thing. I would say we have about 3 miles or so to head back to where we're staying. But as always, thanks for walking and talking with me here. Leave a like and a comment, subscribe, that would be awesome too. I like talking about what we're thinking of as parents here and seeing if there's anything you guys can relate to. I'm sure most of you are fellow parents and grandparents. So thanks for watching, guys. Gonna see you in the next one. I'm gonna try to run back here as best I can without passing out. It's still early enough in the morning, we should be okay. But we'll talk to you later. Peace.